welcome to Fact Off. I'm Tony Sands, and with me today I have my guests. David, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm a wannabe filmmaker. I've written and directed a couple of films, and I'm laid up resting, as in I'm desperately trying to get things made, but it isn't happening at the moment. Anyway,
all good, right? And Sophie.
Hi, yeah, I'm Sophie Tergeist. I'm an actress. I've also made 2 short films. I'm Franco-German American, and I'm living in London, and I've made some films with Tony, and I know David as well. We've met a few times, so it's great to see you.
Cool. I wasn't
good to see you too.
That's great. Cool. And obviously the films that Sophie made with me were the best films in her career. David and I made a film together, didn't we, David? It didn't quite work out. But that's a story for another day. Right, who wants to... Tell you what, I'll give you the choice. Who wants to go first? First question.
I'll go.
Right, Sophie's like, look at that, David. She didn't even, well, not even polite. She's just snagging, I'll take that one. I'll take it.
It's those Franco-German Americans. God, you just can't trust them.
Yeah. They don't wait for anyone.
They're the worst. They're the worst. Right, Sophie, your first question. 1962 saw the release of Dr. No, the film that launched which long-running spy franchise?
Oh, see, I'm terrible at this. Wait, give me Dr. No. I mean,
no,
James Bond. James Bond.
It is James Bond. Yeah. What were you going to say, David?
I was going to say no Googling.
No, I just thought of Austin Powers, and then I said no, but that they're playing on something else, and there we go. So yeah.
Well done. All right, David.
Carry on.
Who played James Bond in Dr. No?
Sean Connery.
Good man. Good man. See, not hard, is it? Right.
No.
So far, we're doing all right. This is good.
Yes.
Right. Sophie, little bit harder. How many actors, as of 2020, have played the character of James Bond on the official film series?
You
need a hand, Sophie.
So, okay, I'll say. Well, okay, is that a hint?
No.
No, okay.
I was going to help you, but I'm sure you don't need any help.
Is he allowed to help me? I mean, I'm going to guess.
Right, it's your game, so whoever, I don't mind.
So if I get it wrong, then it's his turn, right?
If you get it wrong, he'll get the question. So
I'll just say 6.
6. Do you know what, Sophie? If that was a guess, that was a bloody good guess.
Very good.
It's 6.
It's 6.
Oh, yay! Yay!
Okay. So it was Sean Connery, Roger Moore. Then it was it Pierce? No. Then it was the chap who did George Lazenby, who was only in one film.
He was the second one, yeah.
Second one, that's right. And then it was Pierce Brosnan. Then there was the other guy, who wasn't a particular favourite. And then it's obviously been the latest chap. So yes, that does obviously make 6. I can count.
Roger Moore and Pierce Brosnan.
Who was the other one? Who was the other one, Tony, who looked like Pierce Brosnan?
Not Timothy Dalton, no.
Matthew Dalton, that was it.
Timothy.
He was the worst, wasn't he? Let's face it.
He played quite a dark Bond, though, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, I thought his Bond was quite dark. He was quite, I don't know, I thought darker than what they'd had at Roger Moore anyway, because Roger Moore was very light. And
Yeah. Well, he's my favourite. I don't know. I mean, he's the sort of the sexist Jack the Lad, isn't he?
he's what Bond was in the books, really. I mean,
yeah.
And I think he was actually a lot of action films that followed were very much based on Roger Moore's Bond films.
Yes, and I think that the new Bond. Who is the actor who plays him?
Craig.
Daniel Craig. one, I think he takes it very seriously, and two, I think there's obviously a very serious element to it. Right. And I think it's sort of, I think that what I heard was that they were trying to do sort of Jason Bourne.
That's right, and it feels like that as well.
Yeah, that kind of action. They wanted that kind of sequence, and to my mind, they kind of lost the jokey charm of it. But yeah, maybe you just couldn't do the jokey charm nowadays. Who knows?
I think Bond, they've always tried to move with the times, haven't they? They've always tried to hit the audience, but then it always had that jokey charmer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. Right, anyway, next your question before I get confused, David. And you know, okay, as you well know, it's very easy to confuse me. Okay, right. In 1996's The Rock, Sean Connery teamed with Nicolas Cage to tackle terrorists on which island prison in San Francisco?
Alcatraz.
Well done. I quite like The Rock.
And there's a really interesting story about this because there was supposed to be a spy in Iraq who was selling information to the American government. This is true, and he said that the Iraq had been developing a bomb, and the idea from the bomb came from the rock, these glass balls with yellow or green glowing liquid in them.
Life imitating art. How lovely!
And the CIA only figured this out when one of them managed to watch the film.
That's cool. I like that.
Oh.
Right, okay, Sophie. Escape from Alcatraz starred Clint Eastwood, depicting three inmates. So I've got to read the question because I can't remember them. Depicting three inmates attempting to escape from the inescapable prison. One of Eastwood's most iconic roles was as a San Franciscan cop who doesn't play by the rules. What's the name of the cop?
The name of the cop.
It's one of his most famous roles.
I don't know. This is terrible. So wait.
Of course you know. So you know.
First and last name, right?
No, well, or his nickname.
Yeah, you can give me his nickname.
I mean, I want to say San Francisco Cop because no, it's not that. I don't know.
I'll give you a hint, Sophie. What's the opposite of clean?
Dirty. Dirty Harry.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah.
Help at all, just apart from that.
Thank you.
No, I think, was that originally offered to Frank Sinatra or something, that role?
I think you might be right, actually.
I think it was. Anyway, on to you, David. Dirty Harry was followed by a number of sequels, the last of which, Deadpool, featured one of the first film roles for comedian Jim Carrey. Which pet detective proved to be one of his breakthrough roles?
Well, it's obviously Ace Ventura.
It is Ace Ventura. Yeah.
It's funny because when you watch sort of 80s movies and comedies, 80s and 90s movies, the fact that you have these quite big hitting British actors who are willing to just say, oh, sod the thespian stuff, I'm prepared to do anything. Simon Callow was in, I think, the second one, wasn't he? Wasn't he Ace Ventura 2, Nature Calls?
Right, he was, yeah.
And then the other day we watched, Naked Gun. And in it had Richard Griffith, who was a marvellous British actor who's sadly passed away. And not only that, it had John Houseman as well, a chap who'd been the theatrical buddy of Orson Welles and had worked with Orson Welles. And he was a driving instructor in Naked Gun.
I love it, right? I mean, they must have paid good money for it.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got to go where the money is, don't you, Sophie?
Yeah. Sometimes you do, I guess.
Hey man, I'll do anything for money. Me, I don't care. I've no pride. Right, that's ended 3-3. So well done, guys.
Right.
Usually at this point, I'll ask you: do you, David, have a piece of trivia, a movie fact, to give us, and we'll guess whether it's true or false?
Yes, I do, and this is quite a nice one because you will have to guess because I'm not convinced it's written down anywhere, and obviously it's going to be obscure because I suddenly thought of it. But I was working on some stuff for TV, and there was a chap there from a company called Gripology, and he was a grip who had worked in feature films and TV, and we were just chatting, and as ever, it got around to sort of my favourite subject of Stanley Kubrick. And he said, "Oh yeah, I work with Stanley," and he had worked as the grip on Full Metal Jacket. And a grip's job, obviously, is tracking and that kind of thing. And that film was extraordinarily hard. Well, working for Kubrick was extraordinarily hard. But his story was that he'd walked along with Stanley, and Stanley said, "This is going to be my final shot. It's going to be a biggie." And he said, "Bring some flags with you." So the chap, this grip, took some flags, and Stanley said, "Right, we're going to start here. This is where we're going to start tracking from." So he stuck a flag in, and they walked and walked, and the grip was looking back, and by the end of it, he marked the last flag, and he said to Stanley, "Well, that's X amount of distance." He had to ring up every grip house in Europe to get the track. I'd like you to guess from these three answers how long you think the track was. Was it A, half a kilometre? Was it B, a kilometre? Or was it C, 5 kilometres in total?
Say the three again. So
was it A, half a kilometre long, the track? Half a kilometre, that's 500 metres. Was it B, 1 kilometre? Was it 1,000 metres? Or was it C, 5 kilometres, 5,000 metres?
Okay.
And there's no way to know this, but
It sounds ridiculous. Because 5 kilometres, that sounds ridiculous.
That's too long. That's too long, yeah. I'll say 500 meters.
Okay. All right, that's your answer, Sophie. What's Tony's answer?
I'm going for the ridiculous one. 5 kilometres.
Okay. It was B. It was a kilometre long.
Oh, okay.
But it's staggering because not only did it have to be that long, Kubrick the next day or the next week or whenever it was, when the track had actually been laid, he went along it with a spirit level to make sure it's completely level. And it was, but he was a maniac to work for. Wow. I was thinking of another question. Sorry, I'm taking your time up, Sophie. But I thought of another question, which was when I was reading about Kubrick and some of his films, what stunned me was that on 2 occasions, on 2 films, major sets burnt down. And I was going to say which films were they, but it was actually on The Shining. The entire production had to be closed down because there was a massive fire. And then the second time around this happened also was apparently on Eyes Wide Shut. And me being slightly cynical and slightly suspicious, wonders why that happened. Whether he needed a delay in shooting.
Nothing at all. Right. Cool facts. Sophie, have you got one for us?
I have one, and it's so it's true or false.
Okay.
So this year there was an animated film called Trolls World Tour, and it was the first film that Universal released on video on demand before it went to cinemas in April 2020. So it was the first time because of all that's been happening. And in 2 weeks, it made $100 million and was rented over 10 million times in the US. So.
I think that's true. David?
I think that's true as well, because I think people were desperate for entertainment and desperate for something fun.
Well, it's true that they were desperate for something fun, but according to what I read, it was 5 million and not 10 million times in the US.
All right.
that it was, but it's true. Yeah, it was. I was also thinking, wow. Yeah. Now that this was the first thing, and now they said they would release Mulan on Disney Plus as well for everyone.
For it, aren't they? They're going to charge $30, I think, for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And what's the hit song that Justin Timberlake has got with Trolls?
Isn't it
Don't-
the feeling? Don't
yes.
stop the feeling.
I actually think it's a bloody good song, actually.
Yeah.
It's got a really lovely 70s vibe.
Yeah. Can't stop.
Right, that's
Yeah.
cool. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So look, trivia. Right.
There
I've got a film fact for you. True or false? Bond author Ian Fleming's cousin was actor Christopher Lee. True or false? Does Sophie even know who Christopher Lee is? Do you know who Christopher Lee is?
Yes, I do. I'll say false.
False. David? Is David with us still?
Yes, I'm still with you. Sorry, I'm pondering. Because I know that I've read Christopher Lee's autobiography, and I can't remember that coming up. So I'm going to say false as well.
Okay. Well, according to IMDb, it's true.
Oh, well.
Okay.
And Christopher Lee, because of that, Ian Fleming actually wanted Christopher Lee to play Dr. No originally.
Wow.
Which they didn't cast him. I can't remember. I think who was the other? Noel
He
Campbell,
played the man with the golden gun with
Played with the
for
man with
some
the
reason,
golden
who had 3 nipples.
That's right. Because
I never understood that.
Best of villainy. We're running.
It's all good. Yeah.
Sorry, we just got a message on Zoom. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, no, the 3 nipples, because that is the ultimate in villainy, isn't it? A 3-nippled villain. You can't get more than that.
You can't get worse.
Apparently, yeah, Christopher Lee was off. Well, they wanted Christopher Lee, or Ian Fleming wanted Christopher Lee for Dr. No. And another thing I read, I don't know how true it is, but Noel Coward was offered the role of Dr. No.
I could imagine that, because I could imagine him being friendly with Ian Fleming.
Yeah, from what I read, Noel Coward's response was by telegram saying, "Dr. No, no."
Because he is in the Italian Job, isn't he?
The Italian Job, yeah, Noel Coward, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Anyway, I think we're running out of time. Guys, it was 3-3. Well done. Fantastic.
Thank you for your help, David. Thank you.
Okay. Lovely to meet you, Sophie. Again.
You too. Thanks, Tony. That was fun.
No, thanks for
joining. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks for taking the time in this unbearable heat, which is melting everybody. I'm not doing this cool, I'm just sweating.
I know. Well, I'm sitting right next door to a fan, but I didn't actually switch it on.
Right.
I thought it would sound as if I was in some sort of aircraft hangar or
Same
something.
thing, yeah.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks for the fun.
That's all right. I'm waiting for the films now, which we've been told are coming. Who knows?
Bye-bye.
Right. Thanks very much, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye-bye.